Throughout history, war have shaped our world in countless ways. But have you ever wondered what drives nation to pick up arms against each others? Is it always about freedom, democracy, or self-defense? Or could there be more to the story? Let's start with a simple truth. War is expensive. It costs lives, resources, and often leaves both sides worse off than before. So, why do countries still go to the war? The answer lies in the hidden agendas that powerful groups and the individual pursue. One of the most common hidden agenda behind war is the economic gain. Think about it. Who profits from war? Arm manufacturers? Well, when conflicts break out, demand for weapons skyrockets. This creates a perverse incentive for some companies to push for military actions. But it's not just weapons. Wars can also be about securing valuable resources. Oil, for example, has been a major factor in many conflicts. Well, countries with a large oil reserve often find themselves in the crosshair of more powerful nations. The desire to control these resources can lead to the proxy war or even direct military intervention. Another hidden agenda is a geopolitical influence. Sometimes wars are fought not for immediate gain, but to strengthen a country's position on global stage. Well, by destabilizing certain region or propping up a friendly government, powerful nations can expand their sphere of influence. Well, this long-term strategy often goes unnoticed by the general public. Well, who only see the surface level justification for the war. Well, speaking of justification, let's talk about how wars are sold in the public or sold to the public. Government rarely admit to hidden agendas. Instead, they craft narratives that appeal to our emotional and the values. They might talk about spreading democracy, fighting terrorism, or protecting human rights. Well, while these goals can be genuine, they are often used to mask less noble interaction or intention. Well, take the example of Iraq war. The official reason given was to the threat of weapons of mass destruction. However, many argue that oil and the regional influence were the real driving forces behind the Iraq conflict. This disconnect between public justification and the hidden agenda is a common theme in many wars. Well, now let's consider the role of the military individual complex or military industrial complex. This term refers to the relationship between countries' military, defense industry, and the political leadership. When these groups become too closely intertwined, it can create a system that benefits from ongoing conflict. Military leaders want larger budget. Defense contractors want more orders, and some politicians rely on both for support. This can lead to a cycle where war become a business, with a peace being bad for profit. But it's not just about money and the power. Sometimes hidden agenda are deeply personal. Leaders might start wars to distract from domestic problems or to secure their legacy. In some cases, long-standing grudges or ideology benefits can push countries towards conflict. Well, these personal motivations are often hidden behind grander narratives of national security or historical destiny. Well, it's important to note that not wars are driven by hidden agendas. Sometimes countries do fight for the reason they claim. But even in these cases, there are often additional motives at play behind the scene. The key is to look beyond the official statement and ask who benefits from the conflict. So friends, how can we as a citizen see through these hidden agendas? First, we need to stay informed. Read news from multiple sources, including international perspectives. Look for patterns in how conflicts were reported and who's pushing for military actions. Pay attention to the economic and the political backgrounds of those in the power. Second, we should question official narratives. This doesn't mean becoming cynical about everything, but rather developing a healthy skepticism. When a leader calls for war, ask yourself what's not being said, who stand to gain from this conflict. Are there other solutions that are not being considered? Third, follow the money. Look at which companies and the individual profit during wartime. Investigate the connection between political leaders and the defense industry. Often, these financial trails can reveal hidden motives that are not apparent on the surface. Lastly, support independent journalism and whistleblowers. These are often the sources that bring hidden agendas to the light. By valuing and protecting those who spread truth to power, we can create a more transparent world. Now, you might be wondering, if hidden agendas are so common, is there any hope for the peace? The answer is yes, but it required active engagement from all of us. By understanding the true drivers of conflict, we can work towards addressing the root causes rather than just symptoms. We can demand more transparency from our governments and hold leaders accountable for their actions. We can support a diplomatic solution and invest in the conflict prevention rather than just military responses. Perhaps more importantly, we can build connection across border, making it harder for those in the power to dehumanize potential enemies. Remember, knowledge is the power. The more we understand the hidden agenda behind wars, the better equipped we are to prevent unnecessary conflicts. We don't have to be a passive observers of history. We can be active participants in shaping a more peaceful world. So friend, the next time you hear about a brewing conflict or a call to arm, take a moment to dig deeper. Look beyond the headlines and ask yourself, what's going to here? Who benefits from this war? And what can I do to promote a peace instant? If this video has made you think differently, about war and conflict, hit that like button. And please share it with your friends and the family to spark important conversation about global events or global issues. And leave a comments below with your thoughts or experiences related to hidden agendas in the war. Together, we can work towards a world where true motives behind conflicts are exposed and peace is given a real chance. Thank you for watching, and remember, in the game of war, things are rarely as they seem. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep questioning the world around you.